How you doing, Trey?
I'm doing fine. How about y'all?
Doing great, man.
First time for an interview, I'll say. I'm like, oh, this is new.
Man, that's cool. Right on. So we're here among the stones with Trey Abbot. Tell us about yourself, Trey.
Howdy, my name's Trey Abbott. I live in Ripley, West Virginia, about said Charleston. I am I'm going to say a novice powerlifter and novice strongman. I get a little bit into everything. I do starting to do arm lifting, training with arm wrestling. I do a little bit of everything. I just got into steel bending and I'm loving that so far.
That's awesome. Yeah, man, we enjoy the steel bending too. So you're tell us a little bit about steel bending, shortsteelbending.com, and what's going on with that.
So I got hired by Matt Armiger. He is the owner of the company. And it's kind of weird. Like, we made an Instagram post about it, how I got the job, and it was literally me just not shutting up. Like, I would text him every day, just talk to him about it. And finally he would just like, heck, why don't you just be my social media manager? Because I don't know how to operate it. So I was like, okay, I never done that, but alrighty, man. And I'm loving it so far. Like, I message people. I mean, I'll message anybody and be like, hey, see, you like the lift. Would you like to try steel bending?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they have some really cool steel. They have it in like 10-pound increments. That's unheard of in the steel world, man. That is really neat.
I like that, actually, because, as a novice, as me trying to get into it, I went on, and not to bash anybody, I just went on different websites and I was just looking at it and I'm like, I don't know what any of this means.
Yeah.
And ironically, I went to Arm Lifting's website to see any nearby competitions, and I stumbled upon their sponsorship thing. And I just clicked on it and I was like, oh, heck, I can understand this. I can get on board with this. And next thing I know, I ordered and started texting Matt, and here we are.
Yeah, I agree, man. When you look up nails and you find, oh, there's a nail with this color associated with it, a nail with this color associated with it, another nail that has this color associated with it, and you have no idea how hard any of them are to bend. Mm-hmm. It's kind of nuts. Like going from the yellow nail to the red nail it's a ludicrous jump.
Yeah.
Oh,
blue is nothing, but next is just incredible. It's like, well, what do I do in between? Because I can shred a blue nail, but I can't do a red nail. So what's now?
Yeah, so it was interesting because how I also started my journey. I got steel from them. Then I went to Iron Mine and I did a pretty crazy thing. I ordered like 100 white nails just to see if I could do it. Mm-hmm. And by the time I did 100, I'm like, okay, I think I can hammer these now.
Yeah.
And sure. I know my next goal is to hit the yellow, so I'm like, all righty, man, I'm ready for this.
Awesome. Yeah, the yellow nail is a little bit of a jump from the green for sure. But that's when you're starting to get into the 1/4 inch stuff, and that's when it gets fun. Oh
yeah. So I'm going to tell you guys, it was funny. The other day, you guys posted about I don't know if it's your father or grandfather. He was doing an axle, and I had to do a double take. He looked exactly like my grandfather.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's our father. Yeah, that's awesome.
I had to do a double take. I was like, Papa.
Yeah, you do a lot of lifting with your family as well, right? Your father lifts? Yeah,
so it's weird because my whole life, I always just did like cutting wood and we would get bored. They would be like, hey, Trey, go pick up this rock. And we would all try to lift the rock or flip a log. And it was kind of interesting because I've been doing it since, elementary school, always helping my grandfather with that stuff. And they always like, hey, you should start lifting weights or get in football. And I never really did. And until I always dabbled in the gym, but nothing serious. Mm-hmm. But 2 years ago, I started going to a gym called Holly Strength Systems, which was a powerlifting strongman gym where home of Brian Siders, Alan Barria, and Phil Pfister.
Oh wow!
And it was very awesome. I'm a big Phil Pfister nerd, so I was just like, when I first met him, I was like geeking out so hard.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I would be too, man. I mean, come on. We didn't win a World's Strongest Man for 20 years, and then he did it. It's
Oh yeah.
fantastic, man.
It was so funny because it was the Friday the 13th, and at my job I had to take a test, which I failed the test so bad, and I was like, oh man, this day can't get any worse. And all of a sudden, like, I just look above outside the window and I just see the top of someone's head, and I'm like, gosh, this dude is giant. And he walked in, and I was just like, Phil.
That's so cool.
Oh, it was so awesome. I got some tips from him, and I'm pretty sure in his Big Laws interview when he was talking about crazy fans, he was probably talking about me.
That's great, man. I mean, what better? Hey, Trey, we're back.
Hey, sorry about that.
Alrighty.
You're something.
Oh, I was going to ask, how did the name Couch Potato Strong came to be?
Well, yeah, we were just building our home gym and trying to come up with a creative name. We were both out of shape at the time we started it, so we figured couch potato.
Yeah.
And we wanted to do strongman. That was the focus of the gym, was strongman.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just couch potato strong. Rolled off the tongue, and we also checked nobody else had used it. So that was the biggest thing.
And we figured if you're going to be a little fat, you better be strong, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, I like the name. I was like, man, that's a super crafty name. I was like, I would never thought of that.
Yeah, I was really stoked that nobody else had thought of it. Honestly, I figured somebody else would have thrown that out there. Another thing that motivated us a little bit behind the name was there's two other things. I don't know if you've seen Tommy Heslop crushing potatoes, raw potatoes with his hands, but
No, I have not.
he's one of the number 4 closers. So if you look up the list of the number 4 closers, you'll see Tommy Heslop on there. And then if you look up his potato crushers, you'll find videos of him crushing potatoes, raw potatoes with his hands, which is just amazing.
Now Trey's frozen.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
It says his internet's bad.
See?
Oh yeah. From one side to the other. Wait. Okay.
Okay.
Connection went bad there for a second, but yeah. So Tommy Heslop crushing number 4 potatoes, or crushing number 4 and then crushing raw potatoes is insane. It's an awesome thing to look up. That's one of the hardest feats, I guess, to do in grip is crush a raw potato. And then also, I don't know if you've heard of the apparel company out of Europe, Kind of Fit, Kind of Fat.
Yep.
Yeah,
I've heard of them.
Yeah, we love that name and the whole concept of it's fine, hey, whatever, lift weights. It doesn't matter if you're a little fat, just do what you need to do to be healthy.
Oh yeah, that's the end goal. We're going to be healthy doing it. I mean, and you're having fun with it. That's the most important part. I mean, if you're not having fun lifting, I mean, it's sort of one of those things like you might want to change your strategy or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's one of those. I love lifting, but I also like to eat. So
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Shoot. Oh, shoot. So it's kind of crazy because in my 2-year adventure and get into strongman and stuff, it's so weird how I got into it. Like I met a guy named Sammy Seabach. I went to a powerlifting meet in Ohio, and one of my friends just like, hey, my teacher, he does powerlifting. If you want to go see it, and I'm like, sure, man. Why not? And went up there, and I was like, holy moly, these people are super strong. And there was some.
Well, Trey might be having a little bit of an internet issue again, guys, but
hang tight.
Hang tight, and we'll be back. Our computer blew up earlier. That's why this is the second part of the 2-part episode.
Just shut down for no reason.
So we'll get back on, and we're dealing with some technology issues today.
Trey's struggling a little bit with internet connections.
I love the technology.
I look now by herself. Oh, here it comes.
Sorry about that. My internet went out there.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'll
So,
just-
what's your greatest athletic achievement you've accomplished so far?
I would have to say going to the road 2020 for Moss Wrestling. And that was to me epic. Like I never thought I would have that opportunity, and I got to go and meet some incredibly strong dudes. And it was the year when Rogue wasn't having the public there, and I was just like, wow, this is the great learning experience. I was just like so mind blown at how strong some of these people on this planet are. I was just like, wow, this is awesome. I'm glad to just experience that with my father who came with me. That we went to Westside Barbell, got to see Louis Simmons, which
cool.
I was very shocked because I didn't think he was going to be in there at all. And I just went up to him and I was like, hey, can I get a picture and talk to you? And he's like, sure. And I was just like, oh, you are a star among strength athletes.
Yeah, that's cool. You've been to some of the top places and met some cool dudes, man.
That's what I love about this whole journey. I mean, like, to me, strength athletes are like superstars to me. You can name an actor to me, and if it's not Robert Downey Jr., I'm probably not going to know who they are.
Yeah.
Because if they're not in a superhero movie, I'm not going to know who they are.
Yeah, we actually tuned into Magnus Samuelson and his acting in the Viking show. Yeah. So we keep up with the acting by the strongman, of course.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah. Hey,
What's so cool about these guys, man? It seems like all the strongman and gripsters are just so much more likely to just have you join them and hang out with them and talk to them, and it's just really cool compared to meeting, like professional athletes or something like that. They're just so more open, it seems like, and willing to help and be like, yeah, come join us, hang out.
Oh, I know it, and it kind of shocked me whenever I went to the Holly Strength System, because I was not expecting the open arms. I was like, oh man, this is what am I going to have to do to prove myself? And they were just like, come on in, we'll help you get strong. And I got trained by the guy that helped train Brian Siders, Alan Berry, and Phil Pfister, Coach John Messenger. And I got to learn his a little bit of his programming. It was kind of weird. I didn't get to know him very long. It was 4 months, and then he tragically passed away. But he made such an impact on me in those 4 months of knowing him. He actually helped me get my deadlift from 365 to 405. And to me, I thought that was going to be my biggest brick wall until he trained me. And I just hit it finally. I was so happy. Like, I think it was a week after his funeral, me, my friend Garrett, and my friend Rob, we all promised that we would do a big max out session for him. And one of the older lifters, J.R. Davis, who'd been with Coach John for the longest time, he let us in the doors and helped us max out. And we hit all the numbers that John said we were going to hit by the time we finished the program. So I was super happy about that.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's fantastic, man.
Oh, I'm going to tear up thinking about it.
So, on the opposite side of your athletic achievement, what would you say is your biggest blooper, blunder, and/or injury?
My biggest blooper, I would say I got a camber bar, and I don't know why my bright idea, I thought I'm going to hit, I don't know why. I was thinking straight bar, camber bar. I'm going to find out my max overhead press on it. I'm like, yeah, they should be the same. And and I don't know why, but I put 125, and next thing you know, I just started going backwards, and I was like, oh no. and my dad, I wish I posted it on Instagram because it was just so funny because I just fell backwards and my dad was just like, "Are you alive?" And I got up and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm okay." And he's like, "All right, I think we're done."
That's awesome. Yeah, we found that out. We benched with a cambered bar, and we found out real quick that you can't push as much on a cambered bar as a straight bar. Weight just sat there.
I was thinking, I was like, there can't be that much of a difference, and I learned the hard way. I was like, oh, there is.
Yep. But you get strong on that cambered bar, and you'll be a lot stronger on a straight bar.
Yeah, you will.
Oh yeah.
We gotta push it up. It's like, hey, I didn't think we were doing pause sets. You all right down there? I can't push it up. I'm not pausing nothing. Help me out.
Well, I can think of another blooper. I was benching and I was going to do 250 and I failed the lift. And I don't know why of all people I asked my dad to spot me, but he couldn't pick it up. And he's like, his idea is like, hold on 1 second. I'm going to go get your mom. We're going to lift this bar up. And in my mind, I'm like, well, you could just take the clips off and pull the weights off. And he runs inside, gets my mom. They both lift, barely get it off me. And I just get up and I'm like, I think this was a good session for the day. Good job, everybody. I'm going in now.
Good job, team.
Yeah, good job, team.
That's awesome.
You would have thought how I looked. You would have thought I looked with Scott Mendelson doing a bench press. I was just like, with them on the side, I was just like, oh my gosh.
5 spotters hugging the weights and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, those guys are getting nuts though. Biggest bench competition they just did, or baddest bencher on the planet. Those guys are getting nuts.
Oh, I know it, and it blows my mind with especially Julius Maddox. That dude, he's like smoking through the weights like nothing. He did what was 780, like nothing. It was just like dang.
Yeah, it sucks that the whole situation that happened with them misloading, but after the world saw that, he got better people training. He got better people at his gym. He's
gonna come back way better.
It made it so that he's getting a lot more real focus and real attention that he deserves. So I think it's gonna be better. I think he's gonna be stronger than he would have been anyway.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I do feel so bad whenever that happened because they were really trying to get powerlifting in the mainstream when that happened, and just so many negative. It seemed like there was negative accolades against powerlifting than anything, sadly, about that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was too rushed. It was crazy. They were trying to get in six records or something in an hour.
Yeah, it's madness crazy. All around that gym.
Yeah. I know I would have had to have like a piece of paper or something writing everything down. Yeah. Because I couldn't keep up with how fast they were doing it. I was just like, oh my goodness.
Exactly. That's what it was. They were just going too fast. One mistake. It's a good thing he didn't get injured from it. That's the biggest thing.
Oh yeah. Thank goodness. Cause I think, whenever you see most of those bench injuries, it's where they fail the lift and it's scary because you don't know what you tore. You don't know how bad it is until after said and done.
Yeah. So what's your big current athletic goal?
My current athletic goal is, so in July 10th and 11th, I'm doing my first powerlifting comp. And my goal is to get a 1,200 total. So a 450 deadlift, 450 squat, and get my bench press to 300 because that one's been my biggest brick wall. Because for some reason, I don't know if anybody else is like this, but bench press is just like I hit a number and then I have to train, work my butt off on that one in order for it to get better. And then I have my strongman comp on the 11th. I might have got the dates mixed up, but no, it's the 10th and 11th. So it's back to back up in Morgantown. And my goal there is I'm just doing it as novice to learn, because I never done overhead throws. I've never done a whole lot with stones. So recently I've been doing like a stone lifting program that Dr. Bill Crawford actually made. After that, he made a book. If you guys ever seen it, like the Rogue Stone series, he made a book called Stone Lifting, and in it actually had programs on how to do them. And I've been trying it out, and so far it's been successful. 185 Atlas stone. When I first did that, my body would just like, no.
Yeah.
No. And
yeah, when you get it on your chest, man, that pressure, it's brutal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, or just getting off the ground, your body just like, what is this? And finally now 185 just going so smooth with me. I'm like, I'm gonna have to progressively go up now.
Yeah.
So how about y'all? What's y'all biggest goals this year?
What's your biggest goal this year?
I don't know. I'd say got a few of them. I still want to definitely close the number 3 gripper. I want to probably hit a 350 double overhand axle pull by the end of the year. I'm so close to 300 now. I probably could get it. And then I'd say definitely accomplish some of the party feats that I call it. I want to still bend a red nail. Getting closer to that.
Tear deck
cards. I think I could do that in a couple of weeks. So those are some of the goals. And then I've always wanted to get my bench press back up to 350. So we'll see if I keep benching or if I do more focused strictly on grip. I'm not sure what, but I know I want to do also a two-handed flash 200-pound lift. So that'd be cool.
Hey man, I believe you're going to get it. Just keep on at it, and you're going to get them numbers.
Yeah, that's a huge flash lift, man. I basically want to get a little stronger than I am now and do that at 83 kilos.
Heck yeah.
So that's my big goal.
Y'all must copying. I'm copying Adams, huh?
Yeah, well, I do a lot of martial arts stuff, so I just want to be a little lighter. I want to be able to move a little better. That's my biggest thing.
Oh, yeah. I know after my comp, I'm going to try to get down, because I'm the heaviest I've ever been. I'm 280 pounds, and I'm going to try to get down to 250, okay. which so far.
I'm the same size as Adam. He's about 280.
Yeah.
There we go, 280 club, brother.
Right.
It's so weird because I went 280, and I was on the heavier side where like breathing was becoming so difficult. So I lost about 10 pounds and gained it up slowly. And now I'm not as bad as it was. Like whenever I was 280 2 months ago, you thought I was a bull in a china shop, how it sound. And I started gaining weight, lost it, and gained weight slowly. And I feel way better now. And it just surprised me with diet on that part. I was just like, I would have never thought of that until that happened.
Yeah.
And I was consistent with doing cardio that time, and now I'm just like, no, thank you right now. No.
Faster. That's right.
Yeah.
You got some strong training you got to get to. You're like, I can't shred right now. I need to pick up these big stones.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I always tell my doctor, I'm like, she's like, you need to do more cardio, 30 minutes of cardio. And I'm like, well, if I lift the weight super fast, does that count?
Yeah.
And sometimes she says yes, sometimes she said no. So I'm like, I never get a straight answer.
You just got to tell her, listen, I'm doing some log press, and I need the Sadrunas Savicus power belly. I need somewhere to put that log on, okay?
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna tell her that and see. She might know who he is, but I'll see what she says.
That's right.
Shoot.
That's awesome. So what are some lifestyle habits that you subscribe to that may benefit the average person trying to get healthy and fit?
Oh, one, one thing I notice is I take about, for lifting, it's going to sound crazy, but I take almost every tip somebody gives me. I mean, especially, and I had the opportunity to train around Brian, and, every tip he gave me, I applied it, and so far it's been working. So that's my main thing, I mean, sometimes some people tell you something crazy, and sometimes it's hard to differentiate between some of that crazy, but it always just give it a try, man, because it might work. Another thing I would have to say is I mean, I do this to everybody. I don't care if you're warming up or not. I will be motivating you from just doing the bar all the way up to a max out. And I always try to motivate myself, even doing that. I'll be like, come on. And it could be super light. It could be like just bench pressing the bar 10 reps. But I know if I tell myself I can do it, it motivates me to be able to do that. And there's times where it gets hard, but I just self-motivate myself and be like, all right, just got to hit it. And 90% of the time, besides my camber bar incident, it works.
When do you start your self-talk? Do you start it before you even go up to lift?
Yeah. So I always start it before I lift. So and you'll think I'm some crazy guy because I'll just start muttering to myself. And I just tell myself, I'm like, you can get it. There might be some cussing. I'll be like, you can get it. You're going to hit these numbers. And I'll just pump myself up to the point I can do it. And I notice like my friends at the Holly, they go nuts because they'll be doing a warm up, and I'll just be like, come on, just hit it, or start quoting Ronnie Coleman on them, and they're like, dude, I'm just warming up, and I'm like, just gotta go at it like a champ.
It's still lightweight, baby. Come on, I'm ready.
Oh, I can sound like them sometimes. I'll go, lightweight, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. And it's a big thing, motivation. I mean, I could have a very bad day, but as soon as I hit the weight room, I get in that zone like, all right, got to get it. You just got to get it. Yeah. Got to hit these numbers and keep going at it.
So do you have any unorthodox training methods that you've used that are outside of the convention that have helped you a lot in your lifting or strength goals?
Yes. So about, I think it was probably about last year, me and Brian were talking, and he gave me a few ideas to try. Because if you ever seen Brian Sider's old training log, he used to train 6 days a week. And he told me it works. So I was like, okay, I'll give that a shot. And part of the 6 days, you're doing either 3 or 4 days of high volume.
Yeah.
And he recommended Shaco with me, and I've been doing it.
I mean, we started a 6-day program when we started too.
Yeah.
I notice it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Because how I do it is, so with Shaco, I'm doing like squat. So for example, Mondays would be like squat, bench, squat. And I'm doing like 10 sets of squats.
Okay.
It go up to, like, I'll do 4 sets of 85%, 2 sets of 80%. And then the same for the bench, 10 sets. And then my last set of squats, I'll be doing like, they're not really, I call them speed squats, but they're not really, because it goes 55% to 85% for 7 sets. And so far I've noticed a difference, because within just training that for 4 months, I went from a 405 mixed grip deadlift to a 435. Well, I did that 6 months, my bad. And I went that big of a jump. I was like, holy moly, that's
great.
Yeah.
That was crazy. And the same with my squats. I went from 365 to 415. And I was like, now I just haven't tried it with my bench yet because I don't trust my mom and dad enough. But I know 2 or 3 weeks before my competition, I'm going to do a max bench session, and I'm going to see how that goes.
Yeah, those are good numbers. Yeah, you're pretty close to your goals right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm loving so far. So this month I switched it up. So the Dr. Bill Crawford Stone program, I decided to add my Shaco mix with it. And I think that's really honestly why too, it's helping a lot on my stones. And I've been adding front squats on them. And I think we're just front squats where I'm getting all that pressure on front. Also, it's helping my back. So when it comes to the stone lifting, I'm being able to help my back, help with that pressure, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Front squat would definitely help with stone lifting. I mean, where are you holding the stone? You're holding the stone here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, so for sure. Yeah. No, we do a lot of fun stone lifting. We actually have the Timberline stone, which is up on Mount Hood, so one of our nearby mountains. And we actually traveled up to it with GPS coordinates and lifted it, and it's one of the official global stones of strength. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Kind of neat.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
That is awesome. One day I know we plan to go to California, and I'm trying to convince my fiance Brittany to be able, if I can go to Washington and all that, and hopefully if I can, I come see y'all.
Yeah,
yeah, because
that'd be great.
Yeah, I always wanted to go out there. I know for our honeymoon we plan to go to Yellowstone, and
okay, awesome.
But there's a twist to it because how it happened. Brittany brought it up, and how she did it. She's like, we should go to Yellowstone for our honeymoon. I was like, okay. And all of a sudden she started talking about like this triangle of death. And she's like, it's this 3 states conjoined and they don't have enough people, like a border. There's not enough people to give you a trial for murder. And I'm just like, okay, I see where you're going with this Black Widow.
Yeah, I was gonna say, maybe we should go somewhere else for our honeymoon.
Yeah. That's what I said. I'm like, I changed that.
Go to California, make sure to hit Ode Haugen's gym. I guess he has like a ongoing open invitation for, novice strongmen, amateurs to go and train with him.
Yeah, and Martine Lisis is right there too.
Yeah.
So that was the cool thing with Moss. Ode runs it, Moss Wrestling, and I got to meet Ode, and I geeked out about him too. Like,
yeah,
I was just like, wow. My dad.
Yeah.
That was an awesome experience. I got to meet Evan Singleton, or that's how you say his name, the professional strongman. I got to meet him when he was first starting off up there at the Arnold. And I geeked out on him because I remember when he was a pro wrestler in WWE. I was like, I think I scared him because I was like, can I get your picture?
That's cool.
But he's I didn't realize how tall he was until I met him, and I was like, holy moly.
Yeah, he doesn't look that big in WWE,
It's that TV. It's TV.
Put him in the ring with other guys that are 6.5 foot tall too, and yeah.
Oh, it was so crazy because me and my buddy went to I think it's AEW Dynamite, and we went to their Charleston show, and we got to see that, and it was one of those moments I was like, holy moly, these guys are tall. I was not expecting this at all.
Yeah, we've gone to a couple of the shows too, NXT, SmackDown, and Raw. And yeah, when you see them come out of the gate at the end and walk to the bus, they come up and say hi to the fans or whatever. Man, they're huge dudes. You just go, oh, hi, didn't realize.
Like, the little guys are your size. You're like, you're a little dude.
The littlest dude. Chad Gable's like my height. Like he's 5'8" and I'm 5'9". I'm like, oh, I thought you were tiny. They call you tiny. Like literally as big as me.
I thought you were a horse jockey or something. What's going on here?
that was like when I met the Boogeyman, because he was at like a Comic Con somewhere in West Virginia, and that was the only reason I went. I just went to see Boogeyman, and he was going around scaring kids, and he got me good.
That's awesome.
And I didn't realize how tall he was till I met him. I was like, "Holy moly, man! You're whoa." I know, that's what made it scary, how tall he was, and snuck up on me like, ah.
That'd be a cool guy to meet, Boogeyman. Yeah, he was committed to he's committed to that character.
He really was.
Oh, he was, when he was there, he ate worms and everything, and I was just like, I didn't want to even ask him. I was like, if those were fake, because they looked real to me. I was like, you do you, man. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, usually I go fishing with those, but if you want to eat them, I guess you
can. Yeah. I usually see fish and other animals eat those, but never a human.
Hey, fish are nothing but muscle, man. They're strong little suckers. So who knows? Maybe worms has some good nutrients in them.
Well, maybe the Boogeyman is trying to teach us something we should probably apply. Because he yeah. Well, with his age, he I'm gonna say it, he jacked. Like I was, like when I met him, I was just like, he had shirt off and everything, and I was like, I was sort of embarrassed to stand next to him. I was like, man, I'm nowhere close to your size. They
brought him back on for like a throwback show, or at least I know they brought him back on within the past year for something. I can't remember exactly what show it was, like a throwback or anniversary show or something. But yeah, he's still ripped up in great shape, and still totally does his character and everything. It's neat.
I know it's crazy how people can stay with that character too, because especially in public, I don't know how you have to practice a lot on that or something, because there was no way I could do it. I'd start laughing or something.
Yeah, I couldn't keep a straight face. There's no way.
Well, so if you could start your training all over again with the knowledge you know today, what would you do differently and why?
Oh, that's a hard one, actually. I probably add a lot more volume to my training, because when I just did in and out of workouts, I was doing really, really light weights, and I never, I thought, because with some friends I was around, they said, yeah, you just stay with this weight, you'll get stronger. And then after going to the Holly and learning everything there, I was just like, okay, I need to push myself with heavier weights and gain a confidence on doing heavier stuff, especially with accessories. I'm still a little bad with it, because I don't want to push myself too hard on them. But I know now I've been doing almost like a hypertrophy program on my accessory movements, and I'm realizing, okay, I need to go up weight if I can do like 30 reps of this.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things. I'm like, I should have pushed myself harder on those, and currently I'm just, all I can say is I'm just thankful for everybody I met on the journey too, that helped me out with an open arms. So I'm just very thankful for everything.
Yeah, no, that's a good point about adding in more volume, man. When we first started, we were also a little bit intimidated by doing heavy work with accessories, for sure, because small stabilizing muscles. I mean, you mess up that, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What kind of injury can you get from if you mess up a weird little stabilizing muscle? What's going to be off then? So yeah, we definitely did that as well. We're still probably a little lower on our accessories than we absolutely should be, but it's safe,
Oh yeah,
avoiding injury is pretty key to us as well.
Oh yeah, and it all, I think in a way too, it sort of helps boost your confidence when you're like, hey, this isn't as bad as I can if I can do this 10 reps or something pretty easy.
Yeah.
And then you start going up, and I mean, when it starts getting harder on accessories, I get nervous, but that's where that self-motivation helps me in. I'm like, all right, you got this, you can do it.
Absolutely.
Definitely. So what's the most important piece in your home gym and why?
Oh, I'm going to have to say now, because when I first got my home gym, I started off with one of those old competition rack benches,
Yeah.
which I would say, I know a lot of people would have told me, well, your rogue rack's more important. But to me, that bench was my first step because it made me realize, you know, how weak my triceps and everything were.
Yeah.
And with it, you know, it was kind of funny because I trained with it for 6 months and I went to Brian's house and he had the adjustables for his bench. And I could only do like, whenever I did it, I could do like 225 for 5. Well, I went to Brian's house and I did, I believe, 235 for 10s, like easy. I just smoked them. And I was like, well, I have made some progress. I can say that gladly. So to me, I think that bench has probably been and everybody who's been to my home gym hates this bench. I mean, they absolutely hate it. Because you can't adjust it. It's at a set height. And everybody just hates it. Everybody, as soon as they come in and have to bench on it, that's all I hear out of my ears. It's like, Trey, you need to get rid of this bench.
That's awesome.
But it is, and it was one of those things. I'm like, I'm probably going to keep this bench with me forever. It's hard to let go of it now after all the progress I made with it.
Yeah, we still have our bench from high school, and it's got an adjustable back and everything, but it's too tall. It's way too tall for bench press. Like, even if I put plates on the ground, I still get like no leg drive out of it at all. I could barely do like 225 a couple times on that thing if I was lucky. I think I was struggling with 220 or 215. And then we get a competition bench that's, you know, the right height. And all of a sudden we put on 225 and I'm doing it 10 times. And it doesn't make any sense at all. It's just incredible about what leg drive can do for you.
It does. And I noticed one thing that helped me with leg drive. I actually, there was a Mathonomics episode, and I can't remember who was on it. And they were talking about with their leg drives with their incline bench. And they were like, yeah, get one of those hip bands and put it around your hips and start pushing out. And it can really help you with learn how to use leg drive. And I started doing that, and it felt like magic. I was just like doing it, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this for a while. And
exactly. That's what happened with us when we benched our first time with an actual powerlifter that knew what he was doing. And he told us how to bench, how to, you know, pop our hips and push backward. And we increased our bench like 10% that one day.
And speaking of that, when I first got into powerlifting, I have many senseis, and Sammy Seabox, was my first sensei. And I remember, and I don't know if they did this to you, but when you first time properly bench, they take the bar all the way out. Like I always bench like right at my chest right here, and they told me go right below your chest. My body did not know at all what to do. It was just like, like it was. Sammy got very worried. He was like, "Come on, man! If you can do 225 that way, you can do it that way." And my body was just like, it did not know what to do. It was not adjusting at all at that moment. But after maybe 2 or 3 times, it finally got used to it.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I did not know how to arch with a bench. We don't arch with a bench. We've done these flat back bodybuilding style benches forever. And
Like, you want me to do what?
It's amazing how much technique changes in powerlifting, how much more you can lift. You have the right bar and the right equipment, everything all set up right. You can do amazing. I just deadlifted for my first time on a deadlift bar only a few weeks ago. And it was awesome. Deadlift bars are cool. I mean, I could have never felt one of those bars before. The way it bends and the weight kind of just gradually comes off the ground. It's totally different.
Oh, I still have not yet do a deadlift bar. That's one thing. I don't know why we have them, but they have this sign at the Holly. It says, do not move this bar unless you're deadlifting, and put it back. And there's like 2 or 3 of them, and I'm afraid that if I touch one, it's going to screw up everything. So I I just stay with the power bar, and I'm like, all right, don't mess up the system here.
It'll make you stronger, man. When you actually have to deadlift on a deadlift bar in competition, you'll find you'll get more weight than you expect.
I have to try on my next deadlift session and see how it goes, because like I said, I get so nervous like touching them. I'm like, oh. It's like, it feels like they're on like the glass podiums in the museum that's like you can look but you don't touch.
Right. Not those bars. Special.
Gym falls apart all of a sudden.
So what advice do you have for the average person that's just trying to get fit at home?
Oh, so I would have to say is, like I said, I've been preaching it, just never give up. Like keep on doing what you're doing. I mean, if you're just trying to lose weight, if you're just trying to get general fitness, just keep on doing what you're doing and take whatever tips you can. Because, every day I learn something new in this. I mean, shoot, I could go to the gym and somebody tells me something and it'd be something I never heard of. And I'll be like, okay, I'm going to try that. And I'll start implementing it. And I know, and I think that's really how I got this far, just listening to everybody with some of their crazy ideas. But you just got to also just tell yourself, and I know you're going to get, everybody gets this, people just ragging on you, what you're doing, but just poof them out of the picture and just do what you're doing. I mean, if you're new and you want to figure it out yourself, just figure it out yourself. But if you want help, just don't be afraid to ask, because there's plenty of people that'll help you. I mean, shoot, I could name off 20 people right now in my mind that I just randomly asked for help and they just taught me right away. And it just blows my mind how nice this community is.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. I would say the same thing. Don't be afraid to reach out to the top guys in the sport, because a lot of times, they'll get back to you and help you out.
Yeah, it's one of those things, and I get it if you're new and this person, to me, that was like that with Phil and Brian, because I'm like, man, they're the top level athletes, but they're human. They put on same pants. Well, maybe not them. They're probably bigger pants than us, but they do everything the same as us, and they're more than happy to help somebody new into this.
For sure. So do you have any questions for us, Couch Potato Strong?
Not that I can think of. Well, actually, no. Have you guys ever tried Moss wrestling or had anything desire to try it out?
We haven't tried it yet, but I definitely wouldn't mind trying it out. Looks like a lot of fun.
I'd be excited to do it for sure.
I'm always up for a good fight, and that looks like a fight that's totally related right to grit, man, and that's perfect.
It is awesome. Like, that was probably my first grip related sport I've ever did, and I fell in love with it. It's so awesome. Like especially the guy that helped me got into it, John Mauser and Chad Clark. They always told me about it, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to try it, and I loved it. And you get all kinds of opportunities to go with them. Like when you compete, I know Chad has invited me to go to Russia to compete at the world competition, and
awesome.
And I, of course, this is, I was just like, not yet, man. Plus I didn't have the money. I was like, not yet. One day I will. One day, and when I do, I'll be stoked.
Absolutely, man. That'd be crazy to be able to do that. Yeah, we interviewed Clay, and Clay Edson, and we watched his Moss match with Mark Felix, and that was pretty cool. So we saw a little Moss wrestling and whatnot, but we haven't tried it ourselves. But yeah, it looks like a heck of a grip sport, man.
Oh, it's crazy. The matches usually don't last very long, but I'll tell you now, if a match is longer than 10 seconds or 20 seconds, you're going to be feeling it. Oh my gosh. It's it's like a soreness that I have never experienced. And it was like the same day too. I was just like, I try to go against somebody else. I'm like, I can't do it.
Yeah. Man, that'd be fun to get into, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm one of those guys that I'll try anything. I mean, I've been trying arm wrestling now, and that's one of those sports I would have never thought how much of your back you're using, because I was just, and body leverage, I was not expecting it. I was just like, whoa.
I actually, we talked
because
about
in my mind
earlier. I actually was shocked at how much your back fits into a steel bend, especially a double overhand bend. Yeah, I was doing it wrong for the longest time, and someone helped me get my back into it, and I made giant gains real quick.
Yeah, I actually just recently learned this, like last week, recently, because I've been really every steel bend I've done, I've just been sitting down and doing them, and with and Matt, who runs Short Steel Bending, he actually had me get me the opportunity to have Jed Johnson
Oh, wow.
coach me. And Jed was like, yeah, you need to start thinking of it like a bench press in a way, and using your back and not sitting down also, because and here in my mind, I'm like, okay. And I just, it shocked me how much difference it was. I was just like, wow, I'm going to start standing up and doing these instead of being lazy and sitting down and doing it.
For sure, no, 100%, yeah. When I bent my first red in double leathers, it was as easy as the yellow nail, because I was doing the yellow nail wrong.
I actually started using leather suede wraps on my last bend.
Okay.
And I was using Gadura wraps, and after I used them leather wraps, I was like, yeah, that's what I was thinking. When I used the leathers, I was like, wow, this is so much easier.
Yeah, it's a lot nicer. Feels nicer on the hands. It's great.
I was like, this doesn't hurt.
Exactly. Yep. That's the whole thing with the double leathers. Like you can smash a red nail and not even feel it in your hands. So at that point, you're basically just training the technique to actually do the bend, and you're not dealing with any of the pain tolerance, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, I thought, after doing the Gadura reps and steel bending, I'm just like, oh my gosh, my pain tolerance in my hand is going to go so high right now. But after the leather, I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going to stick with this one for a while.
There you go. You want to be able to bench press the next day, man. If you do big things with the doors, you go to push on a bar.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I noticed with my bench now is, so Wednesday I do bench presses, and it's weird. I do half my workout, and then I go to arm wrestling practice, and then come back and do my final speed bench. And I think, honestly, that's been helping a lot. I was like, because I guess where you're just activating your back and everything so much, to me, I'm like, wow, I can see why all these bench specialists now do arm wrestling after doing these. I'm like,
yeah, I was thinking of Eric's photo the whole time you were talking about this, how he's gone into, 700-pound raw bench, goes into arm wrestling, and he's fairly decent at competing with some of the top dudes.
I think there's a video of him going against Devin Lair, and he beats him, and it shocked me because I'm like, oh, Devin's gonna smoke Spoto, and no, Spoto's just like
Spoto has. Doesn't even matter. You don't need the technique if you can bench 700 pounds.
Yeah, it to me it just looked like a hydraulic press. How slow it went. It was just like. I was just like, wow, that was not expecting that result at all.
That's what Devin did to Thor. I mean, I think you saw that match where Devin went to get.
Oh yeah,
and that's what Devin did to Thor.
Yeah, I remember that.
Eric did that to Devin. It's crazy to think about that strength.
It is, and I know next month there's a guy that lived in somewhere in West Virginia. He's a wall arm wrestler, and me and Greg, who's in charge of what I call it the Charleston Arm Wrestling Club. We're trying to make it a club here, and we got a wall arm wrestler coming to teach us how to do stuff. And I'm like, man, I'm excited for this.
Yeah, you have some good coaches. That's crazy, man. Keep that up. That's fantastic.
Oh, I don't know. I think it's just weird opportunities. Like with my job, I have to talk to people every day. I actually work for a health department.
Okay.
And I deal with restaurants, hospitals, crazy complaints. I don't even want to get into those because they're like comedy movies sometimes. I don't know how to even describe it. When I first started there, I was on a complaint for 6 months, and this dude, I could write a book about this just one guy. Every time I visited him, it was just something different, and just one guy, and I will never forget him. We had to drive him to places. We did a lot for this guy, and we didn't have to, but it was just one of those things. I'm like, and I thought we were going to have to write this in a book series because we got a phone call about him like last year, and I was like, oh God, no. But other than that, those are the only questions I got. Like I said, I'm a talker, man. I'll talk and talk and talk.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, man. So that's all the questions we really had for you. What golden potato records are you looking at, or golden potato feats you're looking at trying?
I'm going to try to do the pull-up. I probably will it'll probably be a blooper video, but I'm going to try the pull-up.
Okay.
And I'll video it, but I don't know yet, man. I'm stoked to try it out. And as soon as I get them, I'm going to post it right on the gram and show y'all.
Nice. I'd like to see that pull-up attempt. Yeah, pull-ups are hard. I can't do one, and I'm only 220.
I can't do one for sure.
Yeah, so you can do a golden potato pull-up, man. Good for you. That's a really tough achievement.
Well, my secret is I get one of those elite FTS bands to help me do it cheap.
Oh, there you go. Strap that under your feet.
So yeah. So if I do it, I'll find somebody that can like edit it so the band's not showing.
Right. Just him and his pull-up just looks amazing. He's like, whoop.
Yeah. You just see like a little gray like noodle. It's like, what's that in the background? Oh, just the camera. Don't worry about
that. Nothing. That's awesome. All right, man. We appreciate you joining us.
Oh, thank y'all for inviting me. This has been a blast. We'll have to talk again soon.
Absolutely. Sounds good, Trey.
All right.
Alrighty.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Oh, you too. Y'all have a great day, and need anything, just give me a holler, okay?
Absolutely. Thanks, Trey.
Appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. Y'all have a good day, guys.
You too. Take care.
Take care too. Thank you.